Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
This is the Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week, sponsored by Barcom Security.
Hi, I'm Officer Drew Zabados, Crime Stoppers Coordinator for Sangamon and Menard counties. This week, Crime Stoppers is seeking information to assist the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office reference 2 felony criminal damage cases in Springfield. The first incident occurred on March 10, 2023 in the 3700 block of Camp Butler Road. And the second incident occurred between March 14th and 15th at the CWLP substation located at 3600 Ridgely Road. In both incidents, a large amount of fiber optic wire was damaged, causing approximately $55,000 in damage collectively between both incidents. Photos of the damage can be viewed on our website, cashyourtips.us. If you can identify the suspect or suspects, call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 217-788-8427. Submit a tip on our website or use the P3 mobile app. If your tip results in an arrest, you could receive a cash reward up to $2,500. Remember, Crime Stoppers only want your information, not your name.
Catch a criminal, get a reward. Crime Stoppers of Sangamon and Menard County, sponsored by the Springfield office of Barcom Security. BarcomSecurity.com. Have a secure day.
Are you more concerned about crime than you were a year ago? You're probably not alone. But this rising wave doesn't have to catch you off guard. Barcom Security is protecting more Central Illinois homes and businesses every day. Being proactive and dealing with it now will keep you and your family more secure. Make it your next call. Contact the Springfield office of Barcom Security for a free estimate and have a secure day.
Order your sub from the new Head West in-store kiosks, and you get a free brownie. Free brownie.
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Well, happy Wednesday. Good morning. Back at it, live and local after having the past couple of days off. Appreciate everyone's patience. Needed to take that time off, but we're back at it, and what a day to be back at it with Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day being today downtown Springfield. After I get off here, going to go run to a news conference with the governor, talk with him about a couple of different things, including what his message is for what's expected to be hundreds, if not thousands, of gun owners in downtown Springfield, marching through the capital city to head to the Illinois State Capitol to lobby their lawmakers with Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll share with you also some of the stuff that we're going to be hearing also when it comes to the census data that's going to be released tomorrow, expecting some detailed numbers that are going to show, is Illinois growing or shrinking? And that's another question I do plan on posing to the governor, because he's said in the past that Illinois is growing and is actually, with other Democrats from Illinois, sent the U.S. Census a question for them to clarify whether or not Illinois is 9 million or 13 million versus what the census actually shows is about 12.7 million or so. So we'll talk about all those things. Also, a little bit later on today, we've got to air some of the video evidence of the ComEd 4 trial. Now, we've been hearing all kinds of audio clips, and there was even more audio released earlier this week, which we'll do a much deeper dive come Thursday. But overnight, the federal prosecutors did release actual video evidence that they presented in court yesterday, so we'll get to some of that as well. In the 7 o'clock hour, we've got the council roundup. Last night's Springfield City Council meeting. It's unbelievable to think that we are less than a week away from the municipal elections. Not just Springfield, but you've also got up in Chicago, elections happening up there, and some interesting lines being drawn as to the distinctions between the two mayoral candidates. Because, there is going to be a new mayor. Mayor Lightfoot not winning in the primary in February, leaving just Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson, and some interesting distinctions being made between those two candidates. But even here in Springfield, and if you're listening here live and local, you'll hear some of the commercials that are likely going to continue all throughout the hour and really for the next 6 days or so heading into the Tuesday election. So with that in the background, the municipal elections in the background, we've got a council roundup in the 7 o'clock hour to really just look at a short and sweet council meeting from last night. It was a committee of the whole meeting where they talked about some of the construction that's going to be done around downtown Springfield and primarily around rail relocation, which is going to consolidate some rail traffic. So that's just some of what's coming up here, all right, including business in the 217, and we've got an honor flight to tell you about. All right, the Land of Lincoln honor flights, they've got their veterans ready to go to head over to Washington, D.C. We'll actually get a lot more details about that coming up here later on. So plenty more to get to here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. Stay tuned. We'll get more details about iGold, but also discuss briefly some of the other cases around the United States that could impact Illinois' proposed legislation or Illinois' gun ban. We've been focusing a lot on that. Not a lot of movement in the past week or so, but we will revisit some of what's happened with the most recent filings in the federal court for the Southern District. So that's just some of what we're going to get to. What we may not have time to get to today, but we have to have the conversation, and we may open that up for Thursday. What happened down in Nashville? Now, of course, I was off Monday and Tuesday. Horrible tragedy out of Nashville. Monday, 29-year-old female going into a Christian private school and killing 6 people, 3 kids and 3 teachers. Absolutely tragic. And, of course, we've seen now it seems to be almost rapidly, right after such incidents happen, certain political sides start pointing fingers at others. But there's a lot deeper stuff going on with that Nashville case that we have to have some conversations surrounding. And it's not necessarily about firearm legislation. So that's something else that we'll have to talk about. I doubt we're going to get into a lot of that today. All right, so if you're here looking for that, it's not really what we're going to get to. I pretty much laid out some of the stuff we're going to tackle. It's stuff you're only going to hear here, all right, on WMAY with me, Greg Bishop on Bishop on Air. All right, 6:16 now. Got to take a break. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. If you're coming to iGold in downtown Springfield, it's going to be partly sunny with a high of 52. It's going to be a little windy, just 13-mile-an-hour winds or so, but partly cloudy overnight, the low of 33. Thursday, mostly sunny, the high of 63. And then Thursday night, we got showers, which is great because I just planted my garden over the weekend and got the finishing touches on yesterday. So looking forward to filling up those rain barrels with showers likely Friday, the high of 67. Saturday, we're looking at partly sunny skies, 48 the high, and Sunday, sunny with a high of 63. Right now, 34 degrees at 6:17 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
What's the best thing to do with your money during uncertain times? Financial experts agree products like certificates of deposit and money market accounts can be a safe haven from a bumpy economy. At Warren Boynton State Bank, we've been helping people find ways for their money to make money for 145 years. Certificates of deposit, or CDs, give you a guaranteed return on your money. Money market accounts are a way to let your money earn higher interest with the flexibility of a checking account. These are just two options we have at Warren Boynton, each designed to give your money security, and they just might help you sleep better at night. At Warren Boynton, you can say we've seen a few things over the years. A lot has happened since we opened our doors in 1877, but no matter what was going on in the rest of the world, we've stood by folks in Central Illinois. A little extra confidence during challenging economic times. Warren Boynton State Bank, WBSB.net, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Hi there, I'm here to tell you a little about this new program called Safe to Help Illinois.
Maybe you know somebody who's being bullied, or worse, thinking about hurting themselves or others. If you don't feel safe telling an adult about the things that are happening around you, check out Safe to Help.
Safe to Help is not about snitching or getting someone in trouble. It's about helping one another out.
You can call, you can text.
You can download the free mobile app, and it's all over social media.
So what do you say? Let's give it a try.
Brought to you by IEMA.
Hello everybody, it's Cousin Bill with Illinois Paving, and we want to thank you for voting us #1 Reader's Choice Award Paver of the Year. Now, is that driveway of yours a sloppy, muddy mess? Is your driveway becoming a nuisance? Are you getting stuck in your driveway? Maybe your driveway is soft and it's unfunctional. Well, call the day and get on the schedule to get your driveway back to looking good, and you'll feel great about it. ILPaving.com! ILPaving.com.
Looking to buy your next home or considering listing? My wife and I recommend choosing RE/MAX Professionals of Springfield, Fritz Pfister. Working with Fritz to find our new home in Sangamon County was truly a wonderful experience. He's prompt, responsive, and we had constant communication. He was committed to serving our needs and made our home buying experience an absolute pleasure. RE/MAX Professionals of Springfield, Fritz Pfister, 217-652-7653. 217-652-7653. Buying or selling a home? Fritz makes it easy.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
Hendricks Home Furnishings has always been known for its high-quality furniture. But did you know flooring has been a key part of their business for over 70 years? Family-owned Hendricks Home Furnishings provides their customers with the latest styles and trends, expertise, quality, competitive pricing, and professional installation. Hendricks Home Furnishings, Route 4 in Verdon, where you can always talk to the owner.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Head on over to WMAY.com/poll where you can take today's daily poll. The question today is about Major League Baseball. I've got to be honest, I haven't watched a game in I don't even know how long. All right, let's check it out. Which area Major League Baseball team is having the best season in 2023? Cubs, White Sox, or St. Louis Cardinals? All right. You can kind of see where the line is here. St. Louis Cardinals are taking the prize here with the daily poll. So go vote, WMAY.com/poll. It is every day here with Springfield's Morning News.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
The weather is going to be gorgeous for those who plan to head to Springfield today for Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. We're looking at sunny skies, partly sunny skies, so a few clouds out there, but 52 the high. And some wind gusts could get up to 20 miles an hour, so that might make it a little breezy, so bring a jacket with you. But expecting that there could be hundreds, if not thousands, for Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day downtown Springfield today. And if you check out the Illinois State Rifle Association, they've got details on what's going on. They say this year will be our most important iGold ever. Illinois State Rifle Association are, among others, suing the state of Illinois over its unconstitutional ban on most semi-automatic firearms. Please take the day off and attend this event if you possibly can. We encourage every gun club, hunting club to sponsor a bus to set up carpools to iGold, and you can see, of course, some more details about what's going to be happening as far as the program. It's going to be at the Springfield Bank of Springfield Center, which is just down on 9th Street or so. Doors open at 10:30. Program starts at 11:30, and then they're going to march to the as typically is done, they will march to the Lincoln statue at the Illinois State Capitol, and they typically have that street blocked off just because there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people that are going to be attending. After I get off the air, I'm going to go run to a news conference separate from this, but in the general vicinity, and then I'm going to head over to the event at the Bank of Springfield Center to talk with people and get a flavor of what's going on, follow the march down to the Capitol, grab a few voices, and we'll of course review a lot of what happened here tomorrow morning. So you're going to want to stay tuned, and we'll have plenty of video and audio and all of that ready to go for you, so that we can keep you updated on what's going on. But that's, of course, a public event that happens every year. There was a few years where it didn't happen in 2020 and 2021. You had the COVID-19 pandemic. But now that we have this ban on certain semi-automatic weapons, there are a lot of gun owners out there who have essentially not necessarily, quote, woken up, but have gotten even more active because they feel that their Second Amendment rights are being infringed upon. So you've got that in the background, and the conversations that there are in the background about the Second Amendment here in Illinois. Now, back in 2013, was it, or 2012? You had a very large outpouring of Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. And if you are on YouTube, you could probably see the documentary I produced back then. It's called Gun Free Zone, the movie. And it talks about Illinois getting the rights to concealed carry, which had to be done because the courts essentially forced it. And if the legislature didn't enact a certain concealed carry law by a date certain, it would have been constitutional carry. So really, I kind of documented all the arguments on both sides as to the state of Illinois getting concealed carry, and the outpour from iGold was, I think there were 7,000 or 8,000 people there that year before the law was passed and ultimately enacted. So now we've got a different set of circumstances here, an actual ban on semi-automatic weapons that's been enacted January 10th, and a slew of lawsuits. And if you've been following anything here with my channel, with the morning show, we've been tracking the state level cases where you've got one out of Macon County that's already in front of the Illinois Supreme Court, and you've got 3 other cases that have been consolidated separately that are allowed to advance forward with more discovery expected. So that's the state level side. And then in the federal side, you've got the ongoing litigation that has the latest being the plaintiffs filing their pleadings, essentially saying that the state's violating the Constitution. And one of the ones I think is really important to highlight is from the Langley case. They said that the constitutional rights are not extinguished by hyperbole. And I think that's something else you probably hear a lot of, especially with another storyline in the background of all of this, and that is what happened down in Nashville with the individual going into a school and shooting students and teachers, killing them. And that's going to be in the background as well. And a lot of people are going to have to answer questions as to, one side says ban all guns or ban semi-automatic weapons as is done in Illinois. Why is that not the answer, right? So I think that's going to be a question that is going to be asked quite a bit of a lot of people here in Illinois, especially with possibly thousands of people in downtown Springfield. So you've got these things kind of in the background when we talk about guns and the Second Amendment and the kind of problem reaction solution that we see a lot of when it comes to lawmaking. But with the litigation in the background, what are the next steps? We talked about the state level case. You've got the federal case with the plaintiffs there, 4 plaintiffs groups combined into one case. I talked with Todd Vandermite on Friday, and he shared kind of some of what the next trajectory is for that case, especially now that they've filed within the federal courts. The final filing.
We'll go in. We've got afternoon arguments. We'll see
April 12th.
What the state may become prepared to argue. We've already seen what they filed in their briefs. They are trying to say that there is no right to, sell these types of guns. They're, if you think about what Heller says, they tried to make some sort of wiggle room around, well, we didn't ban you from possessing it. Well, only if I register it and go through all those hoops and everything else. So it's not a complete flat out ban on possession, but it's not far off. So we're going to have oral arguments in front of the judge on April 12th. We'll see if there are any funny motions that they try to claim in between here or there. Mostly it's going to be a waiting game. And not only are we waiting for the 12th to pop up on the calendar so we can get in front of the judge and ask for our injunction, but, we have the California cases that are pending out there that we could see a ruling anytime now from Judge Benitez. So we may have other judicial notice filings that, a judge in California may have found magazine bans and semi-auto bans unconstitutional. You have the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals dealing with the Maryland semi-auto ban, and if they make a ruling similar, whichever way the Maryland ruling goes, it goes our way. I'm sure we're going to file for judicial notice. If it goes the other way, I'm sure Kwame and Company is going to be filing for judicial notice. Then we have the Atkinson case pending at the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals about a nonviolent felon trying to get his rights restored and how the court deals with that. They could set down guidelines for all of the lower courts that in light of New York, this is how the Court of Appeals is going to treat the New York test and give everybody some heads up on what they're supposed to do.
So, again, you've got April 12th. The oral argument's going to be held in the Southern District of Illinois, which is going to be held in East St. Louis. We'll obviously be tracking that and discussing that the following day and giving you the very latest as we get it there. But it's not just the Southern District, as Todd was laying out there. He also talked about how this, the laws in Illinois could very much be impacted by what happens in other court cases. So if Maryland's semi-automatic weapons ban is struck down as unconstitutional in Maryland, you can see that could very well impact Illinois' gun ban in Illinois. But what about other proposed measures? There have been measures proposed at the Illinois State House to, for instance, require micro-stamping on ammunition. And the steps that would entail and the minutia detail or things that could trip gun stores up or individuals up, it's pretty incredible when you look at what these types of laws could ultimately do. But there was a law in California that was passed that had some kind of micro-stamping, which again is a way to serialize individual pieces of ammunition. You've got that effort that's been filed at the Illinois State House time and time again. Well, I think there was a California court that actually Todd has talked about on his channel, Freedom's Steel, that really, I think he lays it out, doesn't allow for such legislation to advance even in a state like Illinois.
Throws a big wet cold blanket on it if they're paying attention. I think that what the court found was that when you add up these three features, the magazine disconnect, the loaded chamber indicator, and the micro stamping component that they made, that since 2013, not a single handgun on the commercial market's been able to meet that. So it becomes a ban on modern firearms. Again, I think that anything like that here in the state is going to face a similar fate. And I would wager to say that by the time we get through the Court of Appeals here on our stuff, we should have a pretty good feeling as to what's going to happen. The state of New Mexico just is wrapping up their session, and despite Democratic majorities and big grandiose plans for gun control, the state Senate out there took the position that there's no reason to be passing bills that are going to run afoul of the Supreme Court and simply be declared unconstitutional. So they've taken a much more wait-and-see pragmatic approach to it than what, our legislators here have. But if they want to get, if they want to be froggy and jump towards all this stupid stuff, have at it. We'll be going to court. They will be paying for my lawyer's grandchildren to go to Harvard and Yale at taxpayer fees that we win out of them. And that's what we're going to do.
So again, Todd Vandermeide, conversation I had with him on Friday before I had Monday and Tuesday off. Back at it live today with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY. And don't forget iGold today, downtown Springfield. We'll definitely be covering that and get you the very latest, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow here on WMAY. Live and local, 6 to 9, each and every weekday. Thanks for hanging out, as you always do. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, share it. Of course, we clip out videos as well. Just search me out, Bishop on Air, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air. All right, got to take a break. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Coming back, we'll talk about what some Republicans say is shenanigans in the Illinois House. Right now, though, got to hear some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: China threatened resolute countermeasures over a planned meeting between Taiwan's president and the United States House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in Los Angeles. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen left today for the trip, which includes visits to Guatemala and Belize. China's Taiwan Affairs Office has demanded that no U.S. officials meet with President Tsai. China's foreign ministry said the United States is to blame for China-U.S. tensions because of our relationship with Taiwan. Taiwan split from mainland China during the 1949 Civil War. Jersey Mike's Subs in Springfield says it will donate 100% of all sales today, March 29th, to Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Illinois. The sandwich shop on Wabash says it will donate every dollar in sales, not just profits, to support the agency's programs for young people locally. The effort is part of the nationwide Day of Giving at all Jersey Mike's locations across the country, with more than 200 local charities benefiting from the program. The University of Illinois Springfield has been recognized as a voter-friendly campus. The designation is given to colleges and universities around the country that have taken steps to encourage students to register and vote. UIS is one of 258 campuses in 38 states to receive the recognition from the Fair Elections Center's Campus Vote Project and the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators. Chatham-Glenwood High School has announced new inductees into its Hall of Fame. The class of 2023 includes the late Frank and Cinda Edwards, Glenwood alums who served the community as elected officials for years prior to their death in a plane crash in 2020. Other honorees include folk singer and songwriter Ben Bedford, Glenwood head football coach Dan Rourke, and the 2013 state champion girls soccer team. All inductees will be recognized in ceremonies starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday, April 30th, at Glenwood High School. Various news outlets have reported a recall of chili macaroni hamburger skillet meals sold under the Hy-Vee grocery store brand because the product may contain dairy ingredients that are not listed on the label. The recall only impacts those boxes with a February 8, 2024 expiration date. The product has been removed from store shelves. Customers who have purchased it and have a dairy sensitivity may return the product to the store for a full refund. A recent survey finds that voters have not expressed a preference so far in the race for Springfield mayor, with Election Day coming up next week. The poll from Core Strategies gives challenger Misty Buscher a slight edge over incumbent Mayor Jim Langfelder, 39 to 37%, but her lead is within the poll's 4.3% margin of error. In addition, the poll was conducted more than 2 weeks ago, and 25% of voters were undecided at that time. Core Strategies says on its website that the race is a toss-up. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Springfield, I'm Misty Busher, your candidate for mayor. I am running for mayor to be the change I want to see in our community. I have highlighted the need for economic development, improvements to infrastructure, and making our citizens feel safe in their neighborhoods. I have a plan for beautification of our city and even came up with an exciting plan for our Lake Springfield Beach House. Please join our first responders in supporting me. I ask for your vote April 4th for mayor as I bring new leadership for a better Springfield, paid for by Friends of Misty Busher.
You could dig a hole in the ground and bury your cash, but that's no way to see your savings grow. Use an INB-CD, and you'll earn a 3.14% annual percentage yield just for keeping your money with us for 13 months. The minimum deposit and balance for this certificate of deposit special is $10,000. For more details, visit INB.com. Apply at any INB branch or on our website. INB, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Taylor Stevens from Synergy Home Care. Catch our business spotlight this afternoon at 5:40 on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62, and Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. While a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system, cancer surgery doesn't have to be. Now there's Edge Radiosurgery at HSHS St. John's Cancer Center. Edge technology breaks down tumors non-invasively. No incision or hospital stay required. Now that's the kind of news you want to hear. Learn more about the Edge and our comprehensive cancer treatment plans at st-johns.org/edge. Edge Radiosurgery is not appropriate for all cancers. Serious side effects including fatigue and skin irritation can occur. Treatment times may vary.
The shortest distance between you and a Head West sub is now through the new in-store kiosks.
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
Love your mattress now? Wait till you try it on an adjustable base from Verlo. With just the touch of a button, you can elevate your head and kick up your feet to the most comfortable position imaginable for watching TV, reading, lounging, or whatever. And when you're ready, the adjustable base will turn your mattress back into a really, really comfortable bed. So you get a Verlo night's sleep. Good night.
The Verlo Mattress Mismatch sale is ending soon, so you better hurry. Mismatch on the outside. Same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside that's backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Just put a sheet on it, and the only difference you'll notice is how much you saved. Yep, Mismatch is ending soon. So hurry in now for unbeatable values during the Verlo Mattress Mismatch. It's our biggest sale of the year.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Here's something that might make you happy, or even happier. The 2023 World Happiness Report is in. So if you're planning a trip, consider the countries deemed the happiest in the world. Topping the list, it's Finland, which has come in number 1 for the past 6 years, followed by Denmark, Iceland, even Israel, a surprise, comes in at number 4, followed by the Netherlands, Sweden, and Norway. And where does the U.S. stand in the happiness standings? We come in at a rather sad number 16. But at least you can now plan your trip out of the country. No guarantees on your own happiness for the journey, but at least you'll have a reasonably good chance of finding happier people once you get there. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute.
If you're experiencing a spring hiring rush, then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Say shenanigans one more time. I dare you. What is that? Super Troopers? And then he's like, it's the butt of his gun. It's not a word you hear a lot, but when a state lawmaker says it, it definitely piques your attention, and that's something that piqued our attention when we saw what Republican lawmakers thought were shenanigans on the Illinois House floor late Friday. I got word of this because, full disclosure, I was not watching late Friday. I called it a weekend. I was done for the weekend, but Saturday I did get a call from a source saying, hey, late Friday, the Illinois House abruptly ended after legislators were voting on things one after the other. Republicans used a procedural motion to verify a vote, and they found that there were Democrats not at their seats as they should have been, voting yes or no on legislation as they should have been, even though they were listed on the board as voting for it. So here's a little bit of what happened. I was able to go back into our archives and see this. And this was from Friday night, where you've got State Representative Patrick Windhorst making the motions to essentially expose that there were Democrats that weren't in the chamber, despite them showing that they were voting for legislation.
Because of his statement in opposition, our request for verification was not recognized, although it was made and heard by everyone in the chamber. So I am requesting a verification of the vote, House Bill 3957. Votes, and before intervening business, is it in order for any member that voted on the question to request verification of the results of the vote, and that has occurred. We have not moved on to intervening business. I've requested a verification. I would ask that proceed.
Representative Windhorst, your request for verification has been granted. All members will be in their chairs and vote their own switches.
Representative Buckner, is he here?
Please remove Representative Buckner from the affirmative.
Representative Crespo.
Please remove Representative Crespo from the affirmative.
DeLuca.
Please remove DeLuca from the affirmative.
Representative Stava Murray.
Please remove Representative Stava Murray from the affirmative. Would you like to continue the verification?
We have insufficient votes, so.
Mr. Speaker, the Republicans would request an immediate caucus in room 316.
So they tried to go to another bill. Republicans started walking off the floor, and then they abruptly ended session.
Adjourned until.
And then they came back today. They're back. Yesterday they were back. The House had a Friday deadline to pass a bunch of legislation, but they of course abruptly ended after Republicans showed that there were Democrats not in the chamber. And the morning after, you had State Representative Jed Davis. He laid out kind of what he saw, and again, calling it what he says are shenanigans at the Illinois State House late in the evening as they pass legislation.
Shenanigans, right? You're doing things that are completely under the cover of legitimacy. We demand a roll call of the vote. That means your butt in your chair needs to be there to say, this is how I voted. Let's do it. Demand the roll call. They did it, and guess what? The 63 votes became 62, became 61, became 60, because these reps aren't in. The ones that voted yes, they're nowhere to be found. They either left, I don't know if they voted their switch, or staff voted their switch on their behalf and they weren't even in the Capitol anymore. Absolutely unacceptable. This is what is happening in Illinois. And we need to expose this stuff because it is absolutely beneath the electorate of Illinois. And I just wanted to explain that. They'll bring the bill back. It'll pass when they're all there at like 2 p.m. But they're trying to shovel this garbage through when they don't even have the votes there, and then they're trying to do it in such a manner that is manipulative at best. And it is absolutely unacceptable.
So again, Representative Jed Davis.
This is shenanigans.
He calls shenanigans on what he saw happen late Friday. So of course, the legislature is in this week. We'll be tracking that, and then they're off for 2 weeks, the following 2 weeks. So they may have some committees here and there, but there's so much that they passed, more than 400 bills that they passed before Friday, that we've got to go back and start really looking at a lot of those bills as they are advanced over to the Illinois Senate. The Illinois Senate, they have a deadline this week, I believe, to pass legislation, so we'll be watching all of that closely as well. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, and we've got plenty more to get to, including the latest in evidence that federal prosecutors have brought against the ComEd 4, including video evidence. We'll share some of that coming up next. Right now, it's 6:49 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's what we believe at Rex Battery. You should be able to find the right battery when you need it. Our company started when my dad needed a battery for his car, and he built it himself. Today, more than 50 years later, we are still making sure you can find the right battery you need. And that includes the common batteries people use every day to the hard-to-find batteries used in big farm equipment. While online outlets are struggling with supply chain issues, we have shelves full of batteries. The best part is we're right here in town and ready to help today. Hearing aids, power tools, and the car in your garage. If it takes a battery, you can find the battery at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Did you know Shields does golf fittings year-round by our golf experts? Whether you're looking to improve your distance, accuracy, or just wanting a confidence boost, your local Shields has a fitting bay with experts ready to get you custom fit in the latest and greatest products from all the top vendors. Plus, Titleist and Callaway's new lines of 2023 clubs are here. Call your local store or stop in to speak with a golf expert today. Make this season your best by getting your own custom fitting at Shields.
Going with SMTD has never been easier.
With the new Go SMTD mobile app, available for Apple and Android devices.
Now there's no need to carry cash or worry about losing your pass.
Purchase rides and passes on the go with your debit or credit card.
When you board, simply activate your fare on your device and then scan your phone screen at the fare box.
Get the new Go SMTD mobile app today.
Learn more at smtd.org.
Hi, I'm Ed Lex, your Springfield Edward Jones financial advisor. There is nothing more important to me than understanding what's important to you. Only then can you and I work through our established process to build your personalized strategies and the specific actions needed to help you achieve your financial goals. I'll continue to partner with you and your family throughout your life, revisiting your goals and risk tolerance, as well as the strategies we develop to help keep you on track towards your goals. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
I'm Mayor Jim Langfelder. Since I was elected, the safety of our community is a top priority. As mayor, we've hired 42 police officers last year, the most in 15 years. We implemented ShotSpotter and other technology, aiding in the reduction of violent crime by 40%. As mayor, the Springfield Fire Department achieved Class 1 certification, purchased 9 new fire engines and trucks, and we're building new fire stations. Springfield deserves the best. That's why I'm asking for your vote, Jim Langfelder for mayor on Tuesday, April 4th. Paid for by Citizens for Jim Langfelder.
John, the price of groceries is enough to send somebody into a panic mode these days.
Yeah, especially when the refrigerator goes kaput.
Even more so. We got a call from a customer who had that problem with a freezer load of those expensive groceries.
And that'll keep you awake at night just thinking about it.
Right. So, because Dick Van Dyke stocks the 100 most used parts, we were able to send a factory-trained tech out to her place to fix the problem before she lost any of that food.
And he wasn't some subcontractor either.
Trained right here locally by the team of Dick Van Dyke.
You know, one way to fight inflation?
Yep.
Keep from having to buy expensive stuff twice.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store, which means you have the comfort of knowing that if anything goes wrong, we'll make it right. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We stand behind what we sell. We offer so much more. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
The trial against the ComEd 4 up in Chicago continues today, and yesterday they had some video evidence that they provided with Fidel Marquez being the one ComEd official who pleaded guilty to what's alleged to be a nearly decade-long scheme of the utility trying to curry favor from House Speaker Michael Madigan at that time in exchange for little-to-do-nothing jobs for Madigan Associates. So Fidel Marquez pleading guilty, cooperating with officials, talked about how on the stand yesterday he was there when they played some videotape recordings that he surreptitiously collected, where he talked, and we've got video here of two of the defendants. First up, Marquez at a restaurant with Mike McLean, talking about a variety of things. Here's how some of that played out.
Ever comes in and says, who are these guys and what do they do?
Right.
Doherty's got to prove it.
Right.
The company doesn't have to.
Right. But I understand that. But Joe is going to, and legitimately so. I think it's a legitimate question.
It is, yeah.
It's a legitimate question. Joe is going to ask, what are we paying Doherty for?
But on Doherty's, for Doherty's sake, he does work for us.
Right, but I'm just talking because
you're talking about the three companies.
Well, if you look at the contract, it's J. Doherty and Associates, and I forget the amount, Mike, but it's a monthly amount equal to a yearly amount, and it's a pretty hefty amount.
120. 48. Money, getting their own mint. $168,000 just for the subs.
You can't really hear McLean that great. Of course, they got transcripts the jury will hear, or see and read. But he talked about some subs.
I don't know the numbers offhand.
I've never asked him, but probably $10,000 a month. At
Looks like pretty good.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
$10,000 a pop.
It's 288. If it's $10,000 a month.
$10,000 a month.
And he goes, what?
Do you want me to talk to Joe?
I mean, you can, but this is like company process business, Mike.
Right.
And
again, seeming to want to really ask McLean how he's supposed to explain these $10,000 a month contracts. that are going out from ComEd to Madigan Associates, right? McLean being an agent of Madigan. Here's Jay Doherty, I believe, who's also being captured via surreptitious recording from Fidel Marquez, talking about this same exact thing.
And Frank was very, very happy. He was very happy to get the money. He was exceptionally happy that nobody was mad at him.
No dead bodies,
and
right.
And Daley wasn't mad, because Daley, was, I don't need to tell you, he got so hot. Anyway, and he said, Jay, I've paid Gary Cinco and their firm whatever they paid him, whatever. And he said, I want to pay you. I said, Frank, a big check. It was like a couple $100,000, because we would have hired lawyers. I said, Frank, you know what I'd rather have? I play the long game. I'd rather have just keep me on and use me, and use me. And, I love the game. At that time, we're starting to get the City Club going again. Frank, I remember way in the beginning, before the City Club, they had as many members as could fit at this table. Gave the City Club $25,000, right about that time.
Wow.
And just to, Jay, we believe in what you're doing over there. We had, we always conclude ComEd and Exelon always. You guys are there in the beginning. And I said, just bump it up. You come up with a number, and he came up with a number, and that's how it got into the 20,000.
Okay.
And we just spread it over time. And then came along, again, this is just you and me talking, I don't even know who else knows this. John Hooker called, he said, Jay, I got a sub for you. A
subcontractor?
Olivo. Frank Olivo. He said, we're going to pay him every month, and you just, I think John said I'll talk to Fidel, or I don't know who he talks. I don't know who he talks.
Yeah, that predated me, because when I was working with you.
And then, the conversation goes on from there with Doherty even saying, the House Speaker in the conversation. There's tons more evidence there. We will take a deeper dive on all of that tomorrow, because we expect even more. So stay tuned.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Inez de la Quatera. A vigil will be held tonight in Nashville for the 3 children and 3 staff members of the Christian school targeted by a shooter whose actions are now under scrutiny. ABC's Alex Perez is there.
Investigators asking why 28-year-old Audrey Hale targeted Covenant School, killing 3 innocent children and 3 adult staff members. Police saying Hale's parents said Hale was being treated for an emotional disorder and was under a doctor's care. Investigators discovering Hale had collected an arsenal, 7 guns from 5 local stores, all legally bought. Searching Hale's home and car, authorities also finding detailed maps of the campus and writings Hale, a former student of Covenant School, left behind. But so far, the exact motive remains a mystery.
A Huntsville, Alabama police officer shot and killed as he and a partner responded to a 911 call. The partner also shot and wounded. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he wants to talk to Chinese President Xi Jinping, who's just returned from a visit to Moscow.
I want to speak with him because I had contact with him before full-scale war.
Zelensky says if the Russians take control of the city of Bakhmut, that could force the international community into discussions that could lead to unacceptable compromises for his country. A judge has ordered Mike Pence to talk to the special counsel investigating the Capitol insurrection. ABC's Catherine Falder is at the Capitol.
The former vice president will have to testify before a grand jury and provide documents related to efforts surrounding January 6th, specifically related to his conversations with the former president. Now, we're told that in one of these orders that this judge referred to Pence's testimony as potential illegal acts. He would have to talk about potential illegal acts by the former president.
Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz on Capitol Hill today to be questioned about attempts to unionize at the coffee chain. This is ABC News.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Natalia, solid dismount, but that little pause is a deduction.
Top tumblers hope to stick the landing with Coach Jasmine.
That aerial sequence still needs work.
She needs more certified athletic trainers to find her balance.
Focus. I'm going to need you for the all-around. Wait, who's spotting the vault?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job.
All right, coming up, we've got plenty more to get to, including the council roundup. A review of what happened last night's Springfield City Council meeting. It was only about an hour long, and that included 20 minutes of them behind closed doors. We don't hear that part, but they had to go into an executive session about pending litigation. However, they did talk about some rail relocation stuff. It's going to be important for you to know as you travel through Springfield, because there's going to be some road closures for quite some time. So stay tuned. We'll get to that coming up here this hour. And then at the tail end, we'll talk a little bit about the census with some new data that's being released tomorrow. But looking back at previous data, I think it's good that we have a little bit of a primer, so we'll do that as well. It's coming up here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Now 7:04, and let's get a check of headlines.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the University of Illinois Springfield has been recognized as a voter-friendly campus. The designation is given to colleges and universities around the country that have taken steps to encourage students to register and vote. UIS is one of 258 campuses in 38 states to receive the recognition from the Fair Elections Center's Campus Vote Project and the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators. UIS says it has developed a campus action plan for voter education, registration, and turnout. A recent survey finds that voters have not expressed a preference so far in the race for Springfield mayor, with Election Day coming up next week. The poll from Core Strategies gives challenger Misty Buscher a slight edge over incumbent Mayor Jim Langfelder, 39 to 37%, but her lead is within the poll's 4.3% margin of error. In addition, the poll was conducted more than 2 weeks ago, and 25% of voters were undecided at that time. The Wakery, a late-night coffee house and non-alcoholic bar located on the old Capitol Plaza, will have a grand opening this Saturday, April 1st at 4 p.m. Owner Elizabeth Wake introduced the business as a vendor last year at the Old Capitol Farmers Market. She was the first recipient of a $20,000 drive grant from Isringhausen Imports in support of new downtown businesses, and also raised nearly $12,000 through a Kickstarter campaign. The Wakery is open Wednesday through Saturday every week, starting at 4 p.m. A recent survey finds that voters have not expressed a preference so far in the race for Springfield mayor, with Election Day coming up next week. The poll from Core Strategies gives challenger Misty Buscher a slight edge over incumbent Mayor Jim Langfelder, 39 to 37%, but her lead is within the poll's 4.3% margin of error. In addition, the poll was conducted more than 2 weeks ago, and 25% of voters were undecided at that time. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by CBD Botanicals. Visit CBD Botanicals in Springfield and Edwardsville. Online at cbdbotanicals.com.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Where do you go when you want to get in shape? The Body Quest Store. The Body Quest Store. High quality exercise equipment for your home. The Body Quest Store. The Body Quest Store. The quest for the healthier you begins at the Body Quest Store. The Body Quest Store. 3120 Montvale Drive. The Body Quest Store. The Body Quest Store. 787-9930. The Body Quest Store. The Body Quest Store. The quest for the healthier you begins at the Body Quest Store. 3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Hello everybody, Cousin Bill with Illinois Paving. Your Reader's Choice Award Paver of the Year. Thanks for that. Is your driveway a sloppy, muddy mess? Are you tired of getting stuck in your driveway? Maybe you're sick of all the sloppy mud in the car and in the house. Or maybe you don't want all the garbage rock in your lawn. Well, if so, call Cousin Bill at Illinois Paving. ILPaving.com. ILPaving.com.
Listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. Alexa, play WMAY 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last two administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guarantee continued positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
Do-it-yourself ordering kiosks now inside Head West mean getting your sub faster.
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
Got a tax refund coming? Put those hard-earned funds to work for you. Earmark a few bucks for a nice laptop at BLH Computers. Whether you're upgrading or replacing, it comes with the exclusive BLH guarantee. That means you're prepared for the many tax seasons to come. Clear off the desk and bring the old unit for safe recycling too. Visit BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Bishop and the Council Roundup, where each and every week we bring you the latest happenings in the Springfield City Council meeting. Last night was a committee of the whole, which is where they review ordinances that are up for first consideration before being put on either the consent agenda, where it's not controversial, versus being put on the debate agenda, where they do sometimes go into lengthy debate about issues. Last night's meeting really was, the recording's only an hour or so. 20 minutes of that is actually from an executive session. We don't hear that because, of course, they go behind closed doors to discuss pending and probable litigation. But last night, they did hear a lot of important stuff for you taxpayers out there. Number one, to know about some rail relocation efforts that are going on. And then number two, to know about how your dollars are doing. So good stuff to see here whenever it comes to unpacking all that happens at the Springfield City Council meeting. So again, today we're reviewing the committee of the whole that happened last night. Next week, programming note, no council meeting on Tuesday night. Next week's the election, which is wild. We are, less than a week away from the municipal consolidated elections, so we could know if Mayor Jim Langfelder is going to have a third term or if he's going to be unseated by mayoral candidate Springfield Treasurer Misty Buscher. A lot of you have been listening to all of the different commercials that there are. They continue to go back and forth, so you'll hear those again for another, 6 days or so before we get to Tuesday's election next week. But no meeting Tuesday night with the Springfield City Council. They are instead going to meet on Wednesday, so we'll actually bring you the council roundup Thursday morning here with Springfield's Morning News. So just a little bit of an understanding there of what the program schedule is really going to be like. But let's go ahead and hear now from the treasurer with the treasurer's report yesterday at the Springfield City Council meeting. Misty Buscher is the treasurer, and she lays out how much money the city has.
The corporate fund in the month of February had a beginning balance of $64,164,513. We took in total receipts of $17,701,131. We had total disbursements of $11,433,370, which left the corporate fund with an ending balance of $70,432,274. Of that corporate fund ending balance, chair purchase, your ARPA fund balance included in that is $22,151,813. This concludes my report, chair purchase.
So again, $70+ million cash on hand. 22 million of that is federal tax dollars that were spent during the COVID-19 pandemic, still sitting in city coffers. So we'll see ultimately what happens with all of that. But then they had a presentation last night from Hanson Professionals where they were there to talk about engineering that's being done all throughout downtown Springfield. And if you're watching along, you'll actually see some of the graphics that they put up to kind of explain some of the rail relocation. So here is Hanson Professionals.
All right, I'm Mike Mendenhall with Hanson. I'm the project manager for the Springfield Rail Improvements Project. Was going to give everybody a quick update on the overall project and then discuss the closures at Madison and Jefferson Street starting April 5th.
So if you go to the Springfield City Clerk's website, just search, springfieldcityclerk.com, and you'll be able to find it. Click on government, go to archived meetings, make sure you select the committee of the whole, and then the date for 3/28, which was last night. And there you can actually see the rail relocation handout that Hanson provided. So we have that pulled up here, and we'll kind of scroll this through as we hear Mike Mendenhall talk about some of the projects.
The overall goal of the project is shifting the 3rd Street corridor over in parallel to the 10th Street corridor as shown on the blue map. The overall stemming aspect of this is the train volume is going to increase drastically from 2010 to 2030 from 35 to 81 trains a day. As part of the project, currently the city of Springfield has 68 at-grade rail crossings. That's where both trains and vehicles are at the same location. It's going to reduce that number down to 32, so essentially cut it in more than half. Build 8 new underpasses, redo 4 existing bridges, and then construct 1 new overpass. The project itself, shown on the map here, there is 5 of the 6 segments complete or under construction to date. The segments shown in green are complete. The segments shown in red are currently under construction. And then the furthest north segment near the North Grand area is the last remaining segment. The overall project is $475 million, and currently about 3/4 of the funding has been obtained for the project.
So Mendenhall continues. He shares more details about some of the things that are already completed from this.
3 underpasses have been completed, the Carpenter Street, Ash Street, and Laurel Street underpass, and then the bridges at both 5th and 6th Street have been reconstructed. Currently, there's track being constructed over the bridges at Cook and South Grand Street. Once that track is complete, then the existing Norfolk Southern track will be removed, and then the existing bridges at both Cook and South Grand can be removed.
And Mendenhall continuing to offer even more information about what to expect, especially next week.
Starting April 5th, the Madison and Jefferson Street between 9th and 11th Street is going to be closed. 9th and 11th Street will remain open, but that portion of Madison and Jefferson between those two streets will be closed to facilitate the construction of new underpasses for both of those streets. The detour route for that utilizes 9th Street, Carpenter Street, and 11th Street. And again, that's going to start on April 5th, so next week. The duration of that construction is anticipated, and closure is anticipated to take 14 months.
14 months. It's a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of disruption. And again, if you're following along, you can see some of the outlines here of what to expect when it comes to the detour that are going to be happening with the road closure starting April 5th. I do use this stretch every day, so I'm going to actually have to find a totally different route, which is fine. I'll find that route. Shouldn't be a problem. But obviously, there's going to be some disruptions, and we will hear even more about those disruptions coming up from last night's Springfield City Council meeting, where Hanson professionals, engineers helping with rail relocation, talking about all the projects they've got lined up and how it's going to be disrupting some of downtown traffic. So we'll get to more of that coming up here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Now 7:19. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. Where for iGold today, where it could be hundreds, if not thousands, of gun owners lobbying their lawmakers after a march downtown Springfield, you'll see partly sunny skies. Should be nice with a high of 52. Wind gusts, though, could be up to 20 miles an hour, so if you are going to be outside, might not be a bad idea to have a jacket with you. Partly cloudy tonight, the low of 33. Mostly sunny Thursday, 63 the high. But then showers coming through Thursday night. It's going to drop that temperature throughout the rest of the week, with showers likely Friday. The high of 67, but come Saturday, we're looking at a high of only 48 with partly sunny skies. Sunday, sunny with a high up to 63. It's going to be a bit breezy on Sunday. Right now, 34 degrees, 7:19 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
This is Jim over at CBD Botanicals. So I keep hearing this phrase over the last few years, hot girl summer. And I've got a product for all of you ladies. And honestly, you dudes will like it too, because it helps out with your appetite. A half a gummy for me works just fine. I have a lot of energy, but it also helps suppress my appetite. So as we go into our workout routines in order to get ready for the bikini bodies or the beach body, this is a great product for you that not only will get you upstairs and make you feel good about the day, but it'll also help you push away from the table and put that fork down. I also really enjoy a nice little cocktail at the end of the day. And I take the Mango Passion cannabis cocktail personally. We have it in 5 other flavors and they're awesome. But I like to mix that with a little bit of Sprite or even some lemonade or club soda, an ounce, nice little highball at the end of the day. And I'm feeling great. CBD Botanicals at 2538 South Cokie Mill Road at the corner of Cokie Mill and Isles, next to Walgreens in the Fresenius building.
It's the construction clearance sale with Green Hyundai. Mike, every time I drive by what you guys are building out there off of the Stanford Overpass, it's just remarkable. Number one, how fast it can come up and come together. But number two, just knowing that that's going to be another location people are going to be able to not just get their vehicles purchased, but also you're going to have a huge area for a lot of maintenance that's going to be able to be done there.
That's right, Greg. We have 28 underground lifts that will be there. That will so we'll put 28 cars. We can put 28 cars in the air at the same time, and still be working on another 20 on the ground. This place is gigantic. It's going to be a beautiful facility, but we've got to get ready for it here as we go through the next 5 months before the facility opens. And Hyundai came down and took a look at it. Everything's going along okay. And they also told us, promised us that they'd give us an extra 100 cars a month over and above our normal allocation. That's almost, in some cases, 200 a month. So that's 300 cars a month. That's a lot of cars, man. So they're coming. They're coming quick. So we're going to have to close sell down our inventory on the east facility so that we've got room for all these cars that are on their way. This is your opportunity because we teamed up with Hyundai. They brought us Hyundai Motor Finance and brought us 0% with approved credit on these new Hyundais, backed up by a 10-year, of course, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And then Hyundai threw in 3 years free maintenance on all purchases, oil change and tire rotation. So great time to trade and great opportunity for folks to do it as we prepare for our construction clearance sell down that we're doing on the East Dirksen facility directly in front of good old JCPenney's for the number one Hyundai dealer in the central United States, right here in good old Springfield, Illinois. Greg?
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai, have yourself a great day.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, you have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
I'm Mayor Jim Langfelder. Since I was elected, the safety of our community is a top priority. As mayor, we've hired 42 police officers last year, the most in 15 years. We implemented ShotSpotter and other technology, aiding in the reduction of violent crime by 40%. As mayor, the Springfield Fire Department achieved Class 1 certification, purchased 9 new fire engines and trucks, and we're building new fire stations. Springfield deserves the best. That's why I'm asking for your vote, Jim Langfelder for mayor on Tuesday, April 4th. Paid for by Citizens for Jim Langfelder.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed again? Can't clean up that attitude. But we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com. You're running late again. Can't clean up that schedule. But we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections, Springfield to Dallas to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport remains open for you. Your hometown airport is committed to providing a safe, clean, and healthy travel experience. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at aa.com. Fly local, fly SPI.
Take the easy way out.
No taxes. No tax on Max Life mattresses. No tax on Arctic Breeze mattresses. No tax on all Bemco mattress sets. All month long, Just Beds will pay your sales tax on the entire Bemco product line in the store, even sale items. That Bemco mattress set you want, no tax. Max Life, Chatham & Weld, Arctic Breeze, or Arctic Life mattress, no tax. All Bemco, all month, no tax. As always, free delivery setup in Holloway. See the Onyx Terminators at Just Beds on Montvale in Springfield.
Just Beds. To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Do you watching sports? Are you selective about what you watch? You watch baseball while you watch sports? Well, daily poll question today asks you about sports. Which area major baseball team are you going to have the best season for 2023? The Cubs, Cards, or the White Sox? And, this is Cardinals Nation here, at least in the Springfield area. So you can go vote at WMAY.com/poll or on the WMAY mobile app.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Back with the Council Roundup, brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch. Don't forget about delivery. And hey, they're also open for lunch on Saturdays as well. Head West Subs. So we've been hearing from Mike Mendenhall. He is with Hanson Professionals talking about the rail relocation efforts and what exactly is going on there with the different projects and just how much they're going to be impacting people. Of course, he talked about how some of the Madison and Jefferson Street areas with underpass construction going on. It's going to make some of those areas inaccessible, so there's going to be detours. All of this starting up April 5th as they continue with their rail relocation efforts. But more disruptions, as Mendenhall announced last night.
As far as closures go for the overall project this year, Monroe Street is already closed. That is going to reopen as a pedestrian-only crossing later this year. Already spoke about Madison and Jefferson. That'll close April the 5th and last 14 months. There will be closures required at Cook and South Grand to remove the existing bridges. Those will not occur at the same time. They will be at separate times and will last 10 days. And then there will also be a closure of Washington Street to construct a new rail crossing there for 6 months starting June 1st.
So, again, just some of the disruptions that are expected. He goes on to talk really kind of like, hey, this is finally, here's my closing of at least what I have to present.
The last piece of the project is up toward the north part of town. This includes a new underpass at North Grand Avenue, which is going to look very similar to the picture here, which is of Ash Street. That is going to go to a construction letting November of this year, and anticipated the construction would start shortly after that in 2024, being completed by the end of 25. In addition to that, there'll be an overpass, and that is going to be going over the Norfolk Southern and Illinois Midland tracks near Robin Roberts Stadium as well. That's part of the same project.
So, again, just getting an idea of all of the different projects that are going to be done here. He also shared that there will be an opportunity for people to delve deeper and to answer some of the questions they may have when it comes to what's next.
For more information, please attend the public open house from 4 to 7 p.m. Thursday night. We'll have a more detailed overview of the current project, where it's at, including the closures at Madison and Jefferson Street Transportation Center, and then the redevelopment of the 3rd Street corridor once the tracks are able to shift over to the new 10th Street corridor.
So that's Mike Mendenhall with Hanson Professionals, engineers for the rail relocation efforts, just to give you an idea of some of the things they got going on. We'll hear some of the questions and answers from alder people about projects they expect and more about the timelines and what's not necessarily going to be impacted by this. So we'll get to more of that coming up here. From last night's Springfield City Council meeting, the Committee of the Whole getting this presentation from Hanson Professionals. So we'll finish that up coming up next here on WMAY. Brought to you by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to head west. Their downtown location open for lunch and also open for lunch on Saturdays as well. Don't forget about delivery. Head West Subs. All right, got to take a break for news and then come back and finish up a council roundup. But let's get a check of headlines, what's going on in and around the world.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: the Senate is preparing to vote to repeal the 2002 grant of authority for the March 2003 invasion of Iraq. The measure would end more than 20 years of authorization for U.S. presidents to use force in that country and return those war powers to Congress. The repeal is not expected to affect any current troop deployments. The bipartisan legislation would also repeal the 1991 measure that sanctioned the U.S.-led Gulf War. Lawmakers in both parties are seeking to reassert congressional power over U.S. military deployments. The University of Illinois Springfield has been recognized as a voter-friendly campus. The designation is given to colleges and universities around the country that have taken steps to encourage students to register and vote. UIS is one of 258 campuses in 38 states to receive the recognition from the Fair Elections Center's Campus of Vote project and the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators. Jersey Mike's Subs in Springfield says it will donate 100% of all sales today, March 29th, to Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Illinois. The sandwich shop on Wabash says it will donate every dollar in sales, not just profits, to support the agency's programs for young people locally. The effort is part of the nationwide Day of Giving at all Jersey Mike's locations across the country, with more than 200 local charities benefiting from the program. The Wakery, a late-night coffee house and non-alcoholic bar located on the old Capitol Plaza, will have a grand opening this Saturday, April 1st at 4 p.m. Owner Elizabeth Wake introduced the business as a vendor last year at the Old Capitol Farmers Market. She was the first recipient of a $20,000 drive grant from Isringhausen Imports in support of new downtown businesses, and also raised nearly $12,000 through a Kickstarter campaign. The Wakery is open Wednesday through Saturday every week, starting at 4 p.m. A recent survey finds that voters have not expressed a preference so far in the race for Springfield mayor, with Election Day coming up next week. The poll from Core Strategies gives challenger Misty Buscher a slight edge over incumbent Mayor Jim Langfelder, 39 to 37%, but her lead is within the poll's 4.3% margin of error. In addition, the poll was conducted more than 2 weeks ago, and 25% of voters were undecided at that time. Core Strategies says on its website that the race is a toss-up. Various news outlets have reported a recall of chili macaroni hamburger skillet meals sold under the Hy-Vee grocery store brand because the product may contain dairy ingredients that are not listed on the label. The recall only impacts those boxes with a February 8, 2024 expiration date. The product has been removed from store shelves. Customers who have purchased it and have a dairy sensitivity may return the product to the store for a full refund. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
WMAY News, brought to you by The Inn at 835. Let The Inn at 835 handle your next business or social gathering with style.
What are you hungry for?
Obed and Isaac sounds good.
They're always busy.
Yeah, they are. It's because the food is great. The selection of craft beer is amazing, and it's downtown. It couldn't be at a better location.
What if we have to wait?
We'll put in our name, give them our number to text us when our table is ready, and then go next door to the 7th Street Cidery and start there.
I like the way you think. They serve meads too, right?
Yeah, they do. You can get your mead, and I'll start with a flight of cider. They're constantly getting new ciders on tap all the time.
What if Obed's isn't busy and they seat us right away?
The cidery doesn't close till 11, so we can just finish the night there.
You've got this all figured out, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You should see my reward points that I've built up.
So, you're buying, right?
I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
No, you didn't.
Obed and Isaac's Microbrewery, located in downtown Springfield, right next door to the 7th Street Cidery. Enjoy.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, it's Taylor Stevens from Synergy Home Care. Catch our business spotlight this afternoon at 5:40 on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Everywhere you are with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes and fees multiple times during the last two administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guarantee continued positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
Hello, everybody. It's Cousin Bill with Illinois Paving, and we want to thank you for voting us #1 Reader's Choice Award Paver of the Year. Now, is that driveway of yours a sloppy, muddy mess? Is your driveway becoming a nuisance? Are you getting stuck in your driveway? Maybe your driveway is soft and it's unfunctional. Well, call the day and get on the schedule to get your driveway back to looking good, and you'll feel great about it. ILPaving.com. ILPaving.com.
Hendricks Home Furnishings has always been known for its high-quality furniture. But did you know flooring has been a key part of their business for over 70 years? Family-owned Hendricks Home Furnishings provides their customers with the latest styles and trends, expertise, quality, competitive pricing, and professional installation. Hendricks Home Furnishings, Route 4 in Verdon, where you can always talk to the owner.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
We've been hearing some of last night's Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole and some of the conversation about disruptions that are going to be happening in downtown Springfield as the city continues to make way for rail consolidation for the various railroads that come through Springfield. And you're going to see a lot more activity, a lot more construction for a lot more months. We're talking construction that's going to be disrupting some of the traffic in downtown Springfield. So some of the questions that are raised about what are next here. Here's some of the conversation from last night's City Council Committee of the Whole. And I believe the question was raised about one of the programs that they've got at Hanson Professionals that really focuses on minority recruitment. And here is Mike Mendenhall talking about that last night at the Committee of the Whole.
For more information, please attend the public open house from 4 to 7 p.m. Thursday night. We'll have
Here he is. He says, finally, this minority recruitment program with Hanson's, it's celebrating 10 years.
It's been very successful. It engages minority students in high school and gets them interested into engineering. And this weekend, we're actually taking 40 students over to the University of Illinois at Champaign for them to tour the campus and attend the engineering open house. The goal of that is for the students to go into engineering and then want to come back to the Springfield area and work.
So it's an interesting, motive to keep engineers in Springfield because you know that Springfield, it's the biggest little city around, right? I mean, we've got tons of operations that need some good engineering and city planners and the like. So good to see that program moving forward and advancing. But last night also, you had questions for Mike Mendenhall from Hanson Professionals about the projects. State rep just promoted him. Alderman Roy Williams Jr. asking about just how long this is all going to take with the completion dates 14 months away.
Yes, still on track to end at 2025. Yes.
And do we have a beginning date or time frame for the 19th Street portion?
So for 19th Street, we have been in discussions with both the Illinois Commerce Commission and IDOT. And with 19th Street, there is that line feeds basically rail cars that goes down to the power plant at Kincaid. That power plant is anticipated to close here sometime in 25, 26 or so in that area, and that will greatly reduce, if not eliminate, train traffic on that corridor. So currently IDOT and the ICC is in a holding process to see how much traffic would actually remain on that corridor before anything is done further.
It's actually pretty fascinating that the train tracks there have apparently been primarily used to get coal to the Kincaid power plant, which is slated for closure a few years down the line. So the 19th tracks, there's still uncertainty around there. We'll be watching that closely. And surely, if we're still doing the roundup whenever they announce some kind of 19th Street consolidation, construction, and the disruption that's going to bring, we'll watch that. Alderman Hanauer, he had a question about that minority recruitment program.
If a high school student wants to get involved in that, how do they go about doing that?
So we reach out to all the public schools here in the District 186 area, as well as some others, and reach out to a lot of their guidance counselors and others, and present this to them. They can go to their high school and then become a part of this. Yes.
Okay, great. Good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And again, there's about 40 students that are going over there, so we've got a pretty good amount.
Right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alderman Redpath has questions for Mendenhall about the 19th Street tracks.
Goes over I-72 when it gets south of town. Is that correct?
That I-55 and 72, yes.
So that means it also goes over the Hazel Dell road there. That's an underpass that's been outdated for a long time. Is that something that's going to be considered in that project?
So, no, that underpass is not a part of that project. The 19th Street project would be new underpasses at South Grand and Ash Street. That is a part of the 19th Street work.
But it's not going to extend down past the south side of the town? Okay, thank you.
Alderman Gregory also had some concerns about some of these walkways that are deteriorating and how he hopes that gets addressed at some point.
Those underpasses, like the one Alderman Redpath, they're in need of repair, and from a city standpoint, I'm sure we'll put together some plans to do that. But the passing, the rail itself, it definitely needs some work, and the things attached to it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alderwoman Purchase also has some questions about what to expect here moving forward, as we heard that there's going to be an open house to really look at the options that there are and how this is moving forward. Is that open house coming up this week the only open house there is? Here's Alderwoman Purchase.
So I know that we have the public open house this Thursday, March 30th from 4 to 7, but will that be the only public conversation? Will it be some follow-up since the project is so long?
Yeah, there will be additional public open houses throughout the remaining portion of the project. Yes.
Gotcha.
So expect a lot more information about this so that the public can be fully up to date as to what's going on with the rail relocation efforts and the ongoing disruptions it is surely going to cause at downtown Springfield, where a lot of the rail relocation's happening. All right, next up, they had an ordinance that was up for consideration about a new type of updated police simulator. Here's an official from the police department talking about the new updates.
It is a firearm simulator where they are equipped with a simulated firearm. They go into a scenario, have to make a decision about whether or not to use it, reaction, all of that. They can communicate with the scenario situation, talk to the people there, and then the simulation either evolves to a situation where they need to make a decision on whether to shoot, or if they are using proper de-escalation, it can go the other way and they choose not to shoot.
So you've seen these. I've actually taken part in one. They had something similar out at the Illinois State Fair several years ago, and allow people to kind of experience that to a degree. This is an update from what's already available. So interesting to hear more about that. But a question raised about, is this really kind of, I mean, the alderman didn't say this, but is it like Duck Hunt, right? You got a video screen and then you got a fake gun with a laser on it. And the police officer said it's a little bit further detailed than that.
There's a lot more to it. Yeah. It goes much deeper into that, into response times and that, if a gun is displayed in the video, how quick is the officer able to get their weapon out? Are they able to respond? It shoots at you, those type of things. So it's pretty advanced, and this is just an upgrade onto the system that we already currently are using.
So just an upgrade. Hearing more from last night's Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole, where they're dealing with ordinances that are up for consideration. And this is where they, in the Committee of the Whole, they determine if an ordinance is going to go on consent agenda, where they lump a whole bunch together and they vote on them all at once, omnibus, or if it's going to be a controversial piece of legislation, where they then will put it on a debate agenda and then have that further debated upon final passage at the City Council meeting. Here is another ordinance up for consideration.
Relating to disclosures required of all city officials and those candidates for elected city office.
Move to debate.
Second. All right, so further requiring certain types of disclosures of candidates for city office. Interesting to hear the debate about that, but we won't hear the debate about that before the election closes, because here we are 6 days until the election for City Hall. We won't actually hear the debate around that until Wednesday after the election next week, and we'll hear more about the schedule coming up. But next up, Alderwoman Purchase, who chaired the Committee of the Whole last night. She talks about an event that's coming up this weekend, downtown Springfield.
This weekend, we are encouraging everyone to come out and cheer on. Last year, we had a little over 1,200 participants in that ABE half marathon race that will be taking place starting at 7:30 on Saturday morning. So please come outside and just cheer everyone on. I tell them, come on, you got it, come on.
That's the Lincoln Presidential Half Marathon coming up, believe it or not, this Saturday. Wow. This is actually the first year in like a decade I'm not going to be able to do it. I couldn't fit the training into my schedule because the training, it really is a time demand. When you have to spend 2.5, 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon to get that long training run in, with the recent murder mystery I was in, with a whole bunch of other stuff. Me working 80 hours a week doesn't really help out either. But yeah, it's I'm running every morning. I ran, for 40 minutes this morning. So I'm doing that. But these long runs, they're gonna have a good time out there. Saturday, it looks like the weather is gonna be partly sunny with a high of 48. Little windy though. We're talking 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's no fun. So be careful out there. If not even higher winds, 46 miles an hour. Oh, geez. Yeah. Maybe get out there, cheer on those people, make sure that they get some love. The Lincoln Presidential Half Marathon coming up Saturday. Here is more. What's coming up next week?
I just want to remind everyone, too, to please go vote on Tuesday, April 4th.
Or before.
That too.
That brings me to a question. Maybe also, we will not be here Tuesday, April 4th.
Right.
Yes, we will not be here Tuesday, April 4th. We'll be here on Wednesday.
So we will have a council roundup for you on Thursday. So just a programming note next week. Meanwhile, last night's city council meeting, the recording was about an hour long. 20 minutes of it, there's a gap. Why is there a gap?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for executive session for pending and probable litigation.
Second.
So there you go. They had an executive session last night for pending and probable litigation. After that, they came out and they adjourned the city council meeting. So that's your council roundup from last night's Springfield City Council Committee of the Whole here on WMAY. Brought to you each and every week by Head West Subs. When you want a great sub, you've got to Head West. Their downtown location open for lunch. Head West Subs. All right. That's all we got for you with the council roundup. Coming up next, a little bit of a census preview with looking back at some of the numbers that have been released up to when we get new numbers expected tomorrow. So we'll be talking briefly about that. We've also got a conversation about the honor flight that's coming up later on this evening, and we'll talk with Steve Wheeler and a Vietnam veteran about the honor flight's significance. Plus, business in the 217 still to come here on WMAY. Now 7:51 from Culver's west on Wabash. Let's Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got yourself a high of around 52 with partly sunny skies. Should be nice for the hundreds, if not thousands of people expected marching through downtown Springfield to the Capitol for Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. Then tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 33. Thursday, warming up to a high of 63 with mostly sunny skies, but then showers possible with thunderstorms overnight Thursday night into Friday. Showers likely, the high of 67. Showers seem to cool things down for Saturday with partly sunny skies. The Lincoln Presidential Half Marathon, the high of 48, but you're going to have gusts up to 46 miles an hour Saturday. So be careful out there if you're going to be running that 13.1-mile track. Saturday night, mostly clear, the low of 32. Sunday, sunny with a high of 63 and breezy. Right now, 34 degrees at 7:52 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
It's the time of year when the best part of your day might very well be getting out of the weather and getting into your nice, comfortable home. But is your home as comfortable as it could be? It can be with MB Heating and Cooling. First of all, a service agreement with MB Heating and Cooling makes sure that your furnace is working at peak capacity and optimum performance. You save money, you extend the life of your equipment, all at big savings. You can find out more about service agreements at mb-heating.com. But don't forget about the other services MB offers, like a humidifier. As part of your heating system, it would make a huge difference in indoor air quality and comfort. You can ask the team at MB about one when you schedule your service appointment. And maybe it's time for a new furnace all the way around. If your furnace is old and tired and not as efficient as it should be, it's time for a new one. Talk to the folks at MB Heating and Cooling. Again, you can go to mb-heating.com or call 217-544-HEAT, 217-544-4328.
Springfield, I'm Misty Busher, your candidate for mayor. I am running for mayor to be the change I want to see in our community. I have highlighted the need for economic development, improvements to infrastructure, and making our citizens feel safe in their neighborhoods. I have a plan for beautification of our city and even came up with an exciting plan for our Lake Springfield Beach House. Please join our first responders in supporting me. I ask for your vote April 4th for mayor as I bring new leadership for a better Springfield, paid for by Friends of Misty Busher.
Rex with a double X battery, generations of power.
You can jumpstart your car with a device you can hold in your hand. I'm Laurie from Rex Battery, and if you find yourself with a dead battery, the NOCO Genius Boost is all you need. You don't have to wait for a friend to show up, call a tow truck, or hope a stranger has jumper cables. If you have the NOCO Genius Boost, you have the charge you need to get your car going again. One charge can get you as many as 20 jumps. Rex Battery always carries the latest technology, and these small devices pack big power, enough oomph to start your cars, trucks, and even boats. They even have USB ports so you can get your phone powered up if you're stranded. The NOCO Genius Boost. Pick up one today at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery, generations of power.
Love your mattress now? Wait till you try it on an adjustable base from Verlo. With just the touch of a button, you can elevate your head and kick up your feet to the most comfortable position imaginable for watching TV, reading, lounging, or whatever. And when you're ready, the adjustable base will turn your mattress back into a really, really comfortable bed. So you get a Verlo night's sleep. Good night.
The Verlo mattress mismatch sale is ending soon, so you better hurry. Mismatch on the outside. Same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside that's backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Just put a sheet on it, and the only difference you'll notice is how much you saved. Yep, mismatch is ending soon. So hurry in now for unbeatable values during the Verlo mattress mismatch. It's our biggest sale of the year.
Unpunished crime. Do you wonder sometimes if you're next on a criminal's target list? It's hard to know the real answer, but it's easy to make sure that you and your family are more secure. Barcom Security protects by minimizing response times. When trouble strikes, you're backed up with a live person who takes your call 24 hours a day. Contact the Springfield office of Barcom Security for a free estimate and have a secure day.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the spring sale March 24th through April 3rd and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $28.92. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your kids' shoes on? They're squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping. Luckily, it's Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just get your kids to step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. And they're available in all types of Skechers styles with and without laces, and most are machine washable. Find Skechers slip-ins for kids or mom and dad at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
So we've already got tomorrow's show practically planned, which is going to be a couple of interviews looking at the elections coming up next week. But we're also going to have to talk more about Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day, which is today, and the expectation of hundreds, if not thousands, of gun owners downtown Springfield lobbying their lawmakers after marching to the Capitol from the Bank of Springfield Center. So we'll be watching all of that and grabbing voices and sharing a lot of that with you tomorrow morning. But also, we're going to have to go deeper into some of the ComEd 4 evidence that continues to come out, not just audio evidence, but also video evidence. If you've missed any of those conversations so far this morning, be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Just search everywhere. You can find Bishop on Air. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can also watch the live stream on WMAY News on Facebook. So search it out and find the clips. But obviously, tomorrow we also have to talk about the U.S. Census because there's some data that's going to be released tomorrow that's going to show the population increase or decrease of counties across the country. So we'll look at, some of the counties in Illinois. Is Illinois growing as a whole, or are there certain counties that are shrinking in population while other counties in Illinois are growing in population? What's the net shrinkage that's happening in Illinois? So obviously we'll talk about that, but some already released census numbers showing that Illinois lags most other states in job performance. This is new data that's been released showing that Illinois' economy ranked near the bottom in all 11 of major industries over the governor's first term in office. So interesting to see that data. We'll incorporate that some into our conversation about the U.S. Census data, which shows, and in the past, even the estimates, Illinois continues to lose population. But Democrats at the State House, including Governor J.B. Pritzker, have said that's not true. Well, what's this most recent data going to show? So stay tuned. We'll talk about that a lot more. It's here on WMAY.
From the Fly SPI Studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Inez de la Quatera. We're learning more about the school shooter who killed 3 children and 3 adults in Nashville. As the city prepares for a candlelight vigil tonight, ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has more on the investigation.
The killer in this case had been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning that the parents did not believe this person should have access to guns. The parents told police they knew about 1 firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record. The police chief said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee was a close friend of substitute teacher Cynthia Peake, who was killed in the shooting. In a couple of hours, the CEO of Starbucks will testify on Capitol Hill about union attempts at the coffee chain.
Senate pro-union supporter Bernie Sanders plans to say that Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz is doing all he can to stop his workers from earning fair pay through unions. Schultz will testify he has negotiated in good faith and that Starbucks has offered workers stock ownership, college aid, paid sick and parental leave. Still, Senator Sanders will point out that the company has resisted signing any union contract.
ABC's Andy Field in Washington. Minnesota is taking on e-cigarette maker Juul, accusing it of using slick products, flavored pods, and clever ads to get kids hooked on nicotine. Defense attorney David Bernick defending vaping in general and Juul in particular.
They're addictive products, but they're also can be very beneficial, in fact, life-saving for adult smokers.
A fire at a detention center along the Mexican-U.S. border under investigation. 38 people were killed. Officials in Juarez, Mexico say it started when migrants upset about being deported set fire to mattresses. This is ABC News.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. I hate the struggle of tough, greasy messes on my stovetop. So I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
When I'm frustrated with stubborn bathtub soap scum, I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
Mr. Clean Clean Freak delivers an innovative cleaning experience with a powerful, deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact to break down tough messes in seconds.
Just freak,
wipe,
done.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of...
All right, coming up next, we'll tell you about the Honor Flight. The Land of Lincoln Honor Flight back at it in full force. They are getting veterans back over to Washington, D.C. to allow them to take in all of the memorials that are there in their honor. And we'll actually talk with one of the organizers of the Land of Lincoln Honor Flight, but also we'll talk with a Vietnam-era veteran, Philip Helt from Decatur. He'll join us as well. So stay tuned. It's coming up here on WMAY now, 8:04. I'm Greg Bishop.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, Jersey Mike's Subs in Springfield says it will donate 100% of all sales Wednesday today to Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Illinois. The sandwich shop on Wabash says it will donate every dollar in sales, not just profits, to support the agency's programs for young people locally. The effort is part of the nationwide Day of Giving at all Jersey Mike's locations across the country, with more than 200 local charities benefiting from the program. Various news outlets have reported a recall of chili macaroni hamburger skillet meals sold under the Hy-Vee grocery store brand because the product may contain dairy ingredients that are not listed on the label. The recall only impacts those boxes with a February 8, 2024 expiration date. The product has been removed from store shelves. Customers who have purchased it and have a dairy sensitivity may return the product to the store for a full refund. Chatham-Glenwood High School has announced new inductees into its Hall of Fame. The class of 2023 includes the late Frank and Cinda Edwards, Glenwood alums who served the community as elected officials for years prior to their death in a plane crash in 2020. Other honorees include folk singer and songwriter Ben Bedford, Glenwood head football coach Dan Rourke, and the 2013 state champion girls soccer team. All inductees will be recognized in ceremonies starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday, April 30th at Glenwood High School. A recent survey finds that voters have not expressed a preference so far in the race for Springfield mayor, with Election Day coming up next week. The poll from Core Strategies gives challenger Misty Buscher a slight edge over incumbent Mayor Jim Langfelder, 39 to 37%, but her lead is within the poll's 4.3% margin of error. In addition, the poll was conducted more than 2 weeks ago, and 25% of voters were undecided at that time. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Have you been following how the campaign for Springfield City Treasurer has a clear difference in candidate experience?
I have been, and have been very impressed by the current Deputy Treasurer, Colleen Redpath-Feger. She's actually been investing the city's funds with a proven successful track record of positive returns for us taxpayers.
You can't say the same for Bill McCarty. As budget director, his experience has been scheming to tax and spend more of our hard-earned tax dollars.
Not to mention that under McCarty's leadership as budget director, the city has raised taxes taxes and fees multiple times during the last 2 administrations.
We can't afford a tax and spender like Bill McCarty in the city treasurer's office.
Agreed. That's why I'm voting for Colleen Redpath-Feger. Her experience working in the city treasurer's office will guaranteed continue positive returns for all of Springfield.
Learn more before you vote on April 4th.
This message is paid for and approved by Citizens for New Leadership.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections, Springfield to Dallas to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport remains open for you. Your hometown airport is committed to providing a safe, clean, and healthy travel experience. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at aa.com. Fly local, fly SPI.
Take the easy way out.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. While a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system, cancer surgery doesn't have to be. Now there's Edge Radiosurgery at HSHS St. John's Cancer Center. Edge technology breaks down tumors non-invasively. No incision or hospital stay required. Now that's the kind of news you want to hear. Learn more about the Edge and our comprehensive cancer treatment plans at st-johns.org/edge. Edge Radiosurgery is not appropriate for all cancers. Serious side effects including fatigue and skin irritation can occur. Treatment times may vary.
Everywhere you are, everywhere you live, with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Mostly sunny today with a high near 51, low around 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Showers tomorrow night with a low around 55. Friday, rain likely with a high near 68. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 48. Sunday, sunny with a high near 62. And Monday, a chance of rain, high near 69 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager for Midwest Family Springfield. Are you the one person I'm looking for to help further build our media sales team at Midwest Family Springfield? We are the premier multimedia marketing company that no other company compares to in the Springfield area. It's really simple. I need one sales leader, a brand ambassador whose talent and team focus will thrive working with Midwest Family. Are you passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive? Are you an overachiever, a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have the skill set for today's digital marketing? And do you believe in growing lasting partnerships? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, you'll be challenged, you'll be trained, and you'll have access to world-class tools like HubSpot CRM. Are you the one I'm looking for? If so, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Going with SMTD has never been easier.
With the new Go SMTD mobile app available for Apple and Android devices.
Now there's no need to carry cash or worry about losing your pass.
Purchase rides and passes on the go with your debit or credit card.
When you board, simply activate your fare on your device and then scan your phone screen at the fare box.
Get the new Go SMTD mobile app today.
Learn more at smtd.org.
Hello, everybody. Cousin Bill with Illinois Paving, your Reader's Choice Award Paver of the Year. Thanks for that. Is your driveway a sloppy, muddy mess? Are you tired of getting stuck in your driveway? Maybe you're sick of all the sloppy mud in the car and in the house. Or maybe you don't want all the garbage rock in your lawn. Well, if so, call Cousin Bill at Illinois Paving. ILPaving.com. ILPaving.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
The
Land of Lincoln Honor Flight preparing for their next flight coming up next week. And joining us in studio is Steve Wheeler. He is one of the organizers of the Land of Lincoln Honor Flight, but we're also joined on the phone by Philip Helt from Decatur, who is a Vietnam-era veteran. And I want to welcome them both here on the air. Good morning, Steve. How you doing in studio?
Morning, Greg. Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, absolutely. And Philip, are you with us?
I'm all ears.
All right, fantastic. All ears, he says. So, Steve, go ahead and give us the rundown here. We'll talk with Philip about the importance of the honor flights as a Vietnam-era vet. But what do you got coming up April 4th?
Well, we start our flight season next week on the 4th of April. We're going to have a Flight 65 going out of Springfield Airport early. And this is going to be the first of 6 flights that are scheduled here for the 23 flight season. And we're pumped and ready to go for this flight.
So this obviously is a extremely important flight. If people aren't familiar with what the honor flight is, Steve, kind of gives that that general overview.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we fly our most senior veterans, World War II, Korean, and Vietnam vets, to Washington, D.C., so they can visit the memorials and the monuments that were built for what they did. Okay, a lot of them don't have the opportunity to do this. We're giving them that, and that is all free of charge. So we started the organization back in 2009. We have flown over 5,100 vets to D.C. at this point, and we got a lot more to go. We've got 450 plus Vietnam vets mainly on our wait list, and we're going to fly till we get to get everyone served.
And people can find more information about the Lincoln Land of Lincoln Honor Flights at landoflincolnhonorflights.org, landoflincolnhonorflight.org, and you can find out their schedule as well. But obviously, this is an extremely important event every year, seeing plane load after plane load after plane load take these veterans to see the monuments that are there in their honor in Washington, D.C. Steve, this is not cheap. This is something that you guys need fundraising for.
Yeah, and we all of our fundraising and donations are private. There's no public monies whatsoever, no grants, nothing like that. It's all the communities shelling out and supporting us financially and making these trips happen. Our flight costs are skyrocketing this year. Our flight costs this year are in the area of $98,000 per flight. It's incredible how much they have gone up here in the last couple of years, especially this past year. We need that kind of support. We need people at the airport when we arrive back from our flights for the welcome home ceremonies. We need to pack that airport here Tuesday night and really show these veterans how much their efforts and their sacrifices have meant to them and their country.
So again, it's not just about people showing up to support. 9:30 is when they'll arrive back Tuesday, April 4th. Get there about 8 o'clock so you can get a good parking spot and get in place to welcome these veterans back. But they also need that financial support.
Absolutely.
So make that happen. You can find out more again, landoflincolnhonorflights.org. Let's now talk with Philip Helt. He's a Vietnam-era veteran. Philip, tell us about what this flight means to you and some of your colleagues that fought in this in that conflict.
Oh, I tell you, it's a lifetime experience.
So when it comes to your service, Philip, give us an overview of where you found yourself in combat, some of the accolades that you received.
Well, let's see. I served in 68 and 69. I was in artillery over in Vietnam. I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then from there I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and that's where we trained in artillery. And then I was transferred to Fort Lewis, Washington, for about 6 months there in 155 millimeter howitzer training. And then from there, our whole unit got shipped to Vietnam. We went in July of 67.
What was that like in that time when you were, called to service? After, of course, I'm sure reading headlines, and then did you know what you were getting into? Did you and your colleagues know what you were getting into when you were called to serve in Vietnam?
Well, we pretty well, the whole country I was drafted. In fact, we found out like 2 weeks before I had to leave to go to Vietnam, or not Vietnam, but into the military, that my wife was pregnant with our first child. So anyway, you don't have a choice, and you do what your country requires of you. And we knew that we were pretty well, all of us were headed for Vietnam. And then, of course, when we got through with our training out in Fort Lewis, then we got shipped to Vietnam.
We're talking with Philip Heltz. He's a U.S. Army Vietnam-era veteran, served in Vietnam. He was in Oklahoma, Washington, as well as in E5 with artillery. He's got some of the accolades that he's received: the Bronze Star, National Defense Marksman, Army Commendation, Good Conduct. Obviously, this is something that is very much part of your life. Talk about what it's like to be with others that may not have served with you shoulder to shoulder in Vietnam, but served with you in uniform, not just in Vietnam, but elsewhere throughout recent military excursions from the United States. What are these honor flights like for you and others?
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to bring back a lot of memories. But the relationships that you get in the service are lifetime commitments. You're all on the same level. It's just a great honor to have served our country.
Well, we can't thank you enough, and we can actually at least thank you in person when you guys return from your honor flight coming up April 4th, and that'll be returning back to the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. Steve Wheeler here, one of the organizers for the Land of Lincoln Honor Flight. Again, give us all the details people need to know.
Okay, first flight next week on the 4th. We'll be in, try to get to the airport early. We got to fill the place, guys. Get to the airport early. We're going to be in around that 9:30 area, and probably the welcome home ceremonies will start directly after that. So come on out, show them how much you appreciate them.
And I think it's extremely important as well that you get to the website, landoflincolnhonorflight.org, landoflincolnhonorflight.org, where you can find out how to donate, because they can't do this without your support. So get there and make that happen. I want to thank Steve Wheeler, but also I want to thank Philip Heltz. Thank you both for being here today and telling us how important this is for the community. All right.
Thank you back, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News now at 8:18, and let's take a break, come back, and tell you about business in the 217 with the Springfield Business Journal. So stay tuned for that, and we'll wrap things up, at least on my end, before full disclosure and the Better Government Association comes in. All right, let's take a look at the forecast with a high of 52 today. Partly sunny, the low of around 33. For your Thursday, mostly sunny, the high of 63. Thursday night, showers likely and possible thunderstorms with a low of 55. Friday, showers likely, the high of 67. Saturday, you've got a possibility of some partly sunny skies, but also wind gusts up to 46 miles an hour. And then Sunday, we're looking at sunshine with a high of 63. Could be breezy. Right now, about 35 degrees at 8:19 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
Greetings, hard-working Springfieldians. It's your friendly neighborhood Lauterbach man here. And if you don't mind me saying, You have a silly job. I know it's silly because you're not working for me, the Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Imagine going to cocktail parties and saying, I work for the biggest man in town. Well, we're hiring, looking for smart service people and talented techs. You know that job you have that makes you work on weekends? Not here, my friend. We want our folks to enjoy themselves on the weekends and then come in refreshed, ready to make Springfield cars run great. Fantastic benefits, a nice juicy paycheck, and lots of ways to advance. Why, we have fellas who have worked here for over a decade. It's a fine family business if I do say so myself, so leave that silly job and come work someplace less silly. Except, for the giant outside. Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Drive safely and come work for us now.
What's the best thing to do with your money during uncertain times? Financial experts agree products like certificates of deposit and money market accounts can be a safe haven from a bumpy economy. At Warren Boynton State Bank, we've been helping people find ways for their money to make money for 145 years. Certificates of deposit, or CDs, give you a guaranteed return on your money. Money market accounts are a way to let your money earn higher interest with the flexibility of a checking account. These are just two options we have at Warren Boynton, each designed to give your money security, and they just might help you sleep better at night. At Warren Boynton, you can say we've seen a few things over the years. A lot has happened since we opened our doors in 1877, but no matter what was going on in the rest of the world, we've stood by folks in Central Illinois. A little extra confidence during challenging economic times. Warren Boynton State Bank, WBSB.net, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Dang, birds. Can't clean up that windshield. But we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com. Can't clean up your playlist, but we can clean your office, your school, your clinic, or other amazing workplace. Learn more at cleanimpactllc.com.
I'm Captain Julie Plunk with Firefighters Local 37. We are supporting Misty Buscher for mayor of Springfield. We believe she has the qualities that make for a great leader and the belief that public safety should come first. It's time the city of Springfield becomes more proactive and not reactive to move all of us forward.
I'm Benjamin McGill with your local Springfield Police Benevolent. Unit 5, Public Safety in Springfield, has been ignored and mismanaged by the current mayor. As a result, our police department is deeply understaffed. This results in slower response times, which puts you in danger. We need a mayor who doesn't play politics with public safety. We need Misty Buscher.
Hi, I'm Misty Buscher. The men and women of Springfield Police Local 5 and Springfield Fire Local 37 have endorsed me as your candidate for mayor. Please join the working men and women who are your first responders in voting for me on April 4th. Paid for by Friends of Misty Buscher.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
We have a lot of new people, a lot of old people like me who've been here a while, and just the camaraderie, all the good people. We have great staff. We have a lot of fun here. I've always been happy to be here. It's great fun.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Head on over to WMAY.com where you can take today's daily poll, which asks you about sports. And today's daily poll asks which Major League Baseball team will have the best season in 2023. So what do you predict? The Cubs, the White Sox, or the Cardinals? This is obviously Cardinal Nation, with most of you saying the St. Louis Cardinals are going to be having the best season for 2023 out of those three. So if you want to sound off and maybe change the trajectory, you can do that. WMAY.com/poll.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
As we do each and every Wednesday at this time, we connect with Michelle Loamby. She is the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, to get an idea of what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. Michelle, thanks for taking time with us. And let's go ahead and start it off with a planned retirement for a business owner, which means that business is going to be closing its doors here soon. What's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Yes, and it's a third-generation family business, Madison Furniture Company over there at South Grand and 11th Street in what's known as the Southtown area. Current owner Court Dickinson has been involved. He says he's been involved in the business a little over 60 years now. Started working in the family business when he was 13. It was founded by his grandparents back in the 1930s, and his mother later became the manager before he eventually took over. And even though his sister and 2 adult children all help out, he says they have other full-time jobs, and between COVID and inflation and all the things going on, he said it's not really a great time to be in the retail business. So they just made the decision to wrap things up. They don't have a specific closing date at this point. They're selling off the remaining inventory. He has already made plans to sell his building to the adjacent property owner, which is the Springfield project. You may remember that last year, the Springfield City Council had approved some funds to allow the Springfield project to purchase that former beauty supply store. And they've turned that into a social innovation center focused on minority entrepreneurs and have some big plans for future expansion. So now they will have that option with the acquisition of the nearby building.
Moving with other business in the Springfield area, of course, we've got Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport celebrating 75 years, but it looks like the competition is tough in and around the area. Tell us what's going on with the latest in air service for the Springfield community.
Yeah, we actually broke this news over the weekend, and a lot of folks were disappointed to learn that United Airlines is pulling out of Springfield as of June 1st. Of course, American Airlines had already announced that they were going to stop their nonstop flight to Dallas, also effective June 1st. So at that point, it will leave Springfield with 2 routes. American will still have flights to Chicago, to O'Hare, and then, of course, we've got Allegiant Airlines, which is a discount carrier that has seasonal flights to Fort Myers, Florida. So both the mayor and Mike Murphy with the Chamber of Commerce expressed optimism that United might come back at some point, but as you said, it's a very tough market. I didn't realize this, but there's actually a big shortage of airline pilots, like a lot of other industries. They've had some shakeups during COVID, a lot of people getting out of the industry. They've increased the training requirements for pilots, which makes younger people less likely to pursue that as a profession. So they're also looking at some ways to get more pilots trained and up and running so that there's additional options. But all the airlines are struggling with these shortages and kind of have to pick and choose their most profitable markets.
Yeah, and where there's a lot of activity, I would imagine, as well. You mentioned Mike Murphy, the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, obviously busy, but they've got a job fair coming up. Tell us about it.
Yes, in fact, that is today from 4 to 6 at the Crown Plaza. This is their annual spring job fair, and it's a wide variety of jobs, not just full-time, but also part-time and seasonal positions. Everything from entry level to more with experience required. So something for everybody, whether you're already in the job market and just looking to take a step up, or maybe you've got a high school or college student looking to get started. You'll definitely want to stop by the job fair tonight and chat with some of the employers on hand.
Well, finally here, Michelle, tell us about the April issue of the Springfield Business Journal. As the publisher of the SBJ, you've got intimate knowledge of what to expect. So what can we expect, and how can we get our hands on it?
Yes, the new issue actually comes out today. The April issue focuses on nonprofits and education. We've got Josh Sabo on the cover. Of course, he's been in the news a lot lately because of his role with the Heartland Continuum of Care and all the good work they're doing trying to address the homelessness issue in Springfield. Also have a profile on Sister Catherine, who is set to retire at the end of this school year from SHG, and for the first time, the search is underway for a replacement, but it appears that for the first time a layperson will be taking over that role. But we talked to Sister Catherine about some of her reflections on how things have changed during her tenure. So you'll definitely want to be able to pick up a copy of that issue, and you can go to the Springfield Business Journal website if you want to get signed up and make sure you don't miss out on any future editions.
So make that happen. Michelle Ownby, the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, appreciate you each and every week giving us what to expect in and around the Springfield business community. Be careful, okay?
All right. Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. It's all the time I've got for you today. We'll be back at it live and local early tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Plenty to get to. We'll delve deep into the Madigan tapes. We'll delve deep into what happens with Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day and also some census data that's going to be released early tomorrow morning. We'll have the latest on all of that and more here on WMAY. I'm Greg Bishop, but I got to get out of here. Full